Hello and welcome, it is MasterButterfree and welcome to the first Pokemon Online battle on my channel and my first video on my channel. This is a Wi-Fi OU match and I go ahead and lead off with Frostlass because it's my lead and he leads off with Umbreon. I go for Spikes as he goes for Foul Play to do some damage. I go for Destiny Bond thinking he's going to go for another Foul Play, but I predicted incorrectly and he actually goes for a Wish. Knowing he's probably going to pass this on to something else since he's not injured whatsoever, I go for the second layer of Spikes. He switches into his Armaldo, and I am able to set up a third layer of Spikes as he goes for a Toxic just to do that indirect damage so I can't really use Destiny Bond. I go for a Shadow Ball to do some damage as he tries to Rapid Spin away the Spikes, but since I'm a Ghost type it doesn't work. And I go for another Shadow Ball to do a little bit more damage before I end up eventually dying from poison damage. Now here I switch into Houndoom, figuring a Fire Blast is going to do big damage against pretty much anything that doesn't resist it, since this is a special attacking set. I go for the Fire Blast and his Umbreon actually takes it fairly well because I figured it would hit it pretty hard, but it actually lived it even after the spike damage. So I don't know why I didn't go for a Nasty Plot somewhere in here, because I went for a Hidden Power and then a Dark Pulse for some reason, which I could have easily taken advantage of the situation, went for a Nasty Plot. But I go for the Fire Blast and he uses Wish. I go for the Nasty Plot actually thinking he was going to protect, but he actually goes for the Foul Play. Go for the Fire Blast, try to do some more damage, but he goes for the Wish. Knowing he's going to switch out after I miss that Fire Blast to pass it on to something else, I go for another Nasty Plot just to get my special attack up. I hit him with a Dark Pulse, and even after the Stab, Life Orb, and +2, he lives it with 1% HP and T-Waves me and then hits me with a Surf to finish me off. Switching to Shaman, which this is kind of a filler for the team because I didn't really know what to put as my last Pokemon. But this is a Sub-Seed Shaman. I switch into it, figuring a Seed Flare is going to do decent damage against pretty much anything. I thought he was going to leave his Lantern in to fodder off, but he didn't actually. He ends up switching to his Umbreon, which takes the Seed Flare fairly well. Tried to go for the Leech Seed, but the Protect makes it not work, and he goes an Espeon as I go for another Leech Seed, but unfortunately it does have the ability Magic Bounce, so it bounces the Leech Seed back, but since I am using Shaman, it does not affect me. I go for a Seed Flare, he goes for a Signal Beam. We both do massive damage against each other, but because he outspeeds me, I just leave my Shaman in for fodder. So now I'm down to 3 Pokemon, and it's not looking good for me. I switch into Crocodile, who's just an absolute beast Moxie Choice Scarf set. He switches into his Cofagrigus, and I hit him with a Crunch, and after spike damage, it is a 2-hit KO with Crunch, but since I am Choice, I am locked into Crunch. Now, I did make a really stupid mistake here, and I went for Crunch like 2 turns in a row against this Umbreon, even though I could have switched out and switched back in to get the superpower, or switched out to just something to do damage, but I was kind of stupid and just stayed in for actually 3 turns. And so here I go ahead and switch into my Melodic, figuring it can easily take a hit, and I just need to do toxic damage to this thing because poisoning this thing would be great considering it's just kind of stalling and it's really annoying. Crippling it is a thing that will help a lot. I go for the Skull thinking it's going to do a lot more damage, but I finally realized that this is probably a specially defensive Umbreon because it's being able to take all these hits. Switching to Crocodiles, he switches into Espeon, and his Espeon actually dies from spike damage. He switches into Lantern, which also dies from spike damage because he decided not to fodder it off earlier. He goes into his Arcanine, which has 75% HP after the spike damage, and I just go for Earthquake, knowing that even at -1 because of Intimidate, I can 1-hit KO him after spike damage, and I do get the Moxie Boost, and my opponent ends up scooping. So, hope you guys enjoyed. I had a lot of fun with this battle. I have a lot of fun battling with this team in general, but it does need to be fixed. So if you want to leave some constructive criticism on how to make my team a little bit better, feel free to leave comments. I'll probably read all of them, but I might not take all the suggestions because I might test them out, but I might not use them all because it just depends on whether I really like how it plays or not. So, like I said, hope you guys enjoyed, and feel free to like, favorite, subscribe, leave a comment. Just all of that helps me out. And hope you guys enjoyed my first video. I'll definitely be doing more of these along with a Let's Play that I will probably start soon. But for now, peace.